every trip with some AMSOIL all-in-one diesel fuel. 9-hour drive that way. We're gonna need this. There's a nasty storm coming right now. It is gross out there. We're gonna put some diesel in here because there's a lot of Canadian gas stations that aren't open at certain times of the day. Last time we were out there, we got stuck in town for like 8 hours till the gas station opened. So we're gonna fill this up with diesel in case we need it for the truck. We got that going. Nasty storms coming, lightning everywhere. I think there's some hail. It's like, there's a lot going on right now. We got to get the gas cans going in the boat. So we are taking, got 60 gallons in the Lund here. Here it comes. We're gonna get this going. Let's bring extra gas. We're gonna get fueled up here, get the boat cover back on. This storm is a nasty one. We're gonna drive east and we'll check in with you later.
When we care about something, it shows. To help protect these things, call on the knowledge and experience of a local independent insurance agent that you know and trust. Some things we just can't afford to lose. And that is why we exist. Because the worst brings out our best. Holden Insurance, Duluth and Superior.
Good morning. Lake Superior out in front of us here. We are going to venture out and jig for lake trout today. It is early September and one of my favorite times of the year to target lake trout. Lake trout spawn in the fall, so this time of year they're going to start to push shallow. You're going to have some trout that start spawning right now and some trout that'll start spawning in November. So they vary based on the subspecies of lake trout that they are, but right now we should have some fish pushing shallow. I mean, not 10 feet, not 20 feet shallow, but 60, 70, 80 feet, I'm guessing. A lot of those fish will live their life in 200 feet or below. So the Siskowets will start to push shallow right now. We're gonna put the big Lund in here. We have about a 35, 40 mile ride. Light winds today. Actually, I think right now is the strongest winds and they're only gonna die throughout the day. So we should be in for a fun one. Got a bunch of rods rigged up. Josh, Morgan and I, we're gonna head out there and have a good day. So we're gonna start out with, this is just a version of a Bondi bait here. Got a spot locked right now. And without a boat like this with this high pilot trolling motor, it would be tough. You'd have to sit there with your kicker motor and go back and forth and hold yourself right here. But with the iPilot and Minn Kota, I can literally just press spot lock and we're anchored right above these fish. So you drive around until you graph the fish, and then you just hit spot lock and drop a jig down there. So, I mean, it makes it pretty efficient and a pretty simple way to fish, especially when there's waves and there's so much current out here at times too. So hopefully you can get one of these fish to go before too long, but there's one right there. That didn't take long at all. That is why you drive around and try to graph the fish before you even drop your jig down there, because once you graph them, you know that you're gonna get bit within 10 seconds usually. You have an hour boat ride out here. There's so much time and planning that goes into a trip like this, and to get hooked up with a nice lake trout. Morgan's gonna grab the net for me. Look at that.
First good start today.
Oh man, my jig, I touched bottom twice. And that right there is why we do what we do. I mean, you gotta watch the weather. There's so much chances you take too. I mean, you come all this way and you very well couldn't even get out here. But we're just fortunate enough today where we're able to get out here. A long boat ride, you're gonna burn a lot. You're gonna burn 60, 70 gallons of gas in a day, but who cares? I mean, fish like this, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much that we're gonna get to see and discover today. And that's just why I love being out here. What a gorgeous fish. This is an old fish too. I mean, I bet this fish is 20 years old, so we're gonna get it back in the water, but I just love the characteristics of this fish. Super fat, super big fins on them, red fins. Like, this is my favorite. Back down he goes. There we go. This feels like a better one. This is definitely a better fish. That girl. Got some rollers out here today, a little north wind, but I mean, yes, we're out here a ways, but you know, again, we're only in a 22-foot boat, so I mean, we're plenty safe. Just watch your forecast, and you know, you're fine to come out here and spread your wings a little bit and get out to remote areas like this and target these lake trout. Got the net, Morgan?
What's up?
This is a nice fish. Hold on, hold on, hold on. All right, get him. Nice. Oh, baby. That's a big girl.
Wow.
That's a big girl. Oh, how cool is that? Look at that fin. That's a dinner plate. 100% this fish is 25, 30, 40 years old. Look at those fins. Let's get this girl back. Never would I think about keeping a fish like this. I mean, it's just not worth it. Just not worth it. We have to protect our resource, and you know, these fish live to be very, very old, so it's gonna be fun to watch her swim away. Down she goes. Down she goes. That's 2 beautiful lake trout in not much time, which is fun. I lost one, Morgan's lost one. Man, I love being out here. I love being out here. Bluebird day, it's fun. How cool is that fish, huh?
Oh my gosh, that was a beautiful lake
And you
trout.
saw how big those fins were. I mean, that tells you that it's like a resident fish to this reef that,
Right.
you know, just
It's
rides
just
around the
staying
current
here
all day
hanging out.
long. Isn't that fun? Oh.
Now I need to get a fish.
See, it's like every bite you have or every fish you lose, it's you know, it hurts even more because it could be something like that or one twice or 3 times that big. You know, I know there's a 50, 60 pounder out here, you know.
It'd be interesting to catch a smaller trout too and see how big their fins are in perspective to their.
Yep. But yeah, these fish, I mean, all these lake trout are so unique. Everyone is so different. And that one had a really dark head on it and huge fins. I mean, those are massive. That's cool. Yeah, he just, you know, they just ride around and look for bait, and they're eating like gobies and eel pout that live down in the rocks. And every now and then when a school of herring or, you know, whitefish swim over, they'll come up and eat one. But, you know, the majority of those fish live down in the rocks and they're eating bait and stuff down there. So they just spread out their fins and ride the current around. And our Minn Kota is on like level 3 right now and just constantly. So we can tell there's a lot of current coming through here. So, and that changes daily with the moon phase and winds and what have you, but man, that's cool.
That was a beautiful fish.
Hooked up. I was a little ways off the bottom there when this one hit.
Get over here.
Not
That's a big fish.
Not a bad fish there. Oh man. Ooh. He's not ready yet. Awesome. Yeah, these fish out here have some weight to them. I mean, look at that belly. Again, they have those huge fins. Absolutely unique fish out here.
Ideally, when you drive around, you want to see big, you know, big arcs off bottom 20 feet. And I mean, that's when you know you're going to be in some good fish, but we're just not seeing that today. And more often than not, you don't. So kind of what we're looking for right now is returns on our graph that look like a softer bottom. It's all huge rocks though, and that says this boat, but what that signifies is that, you know, there's big boulders that these trout can, you know, live down in. So right now, like, I'm not graphing any fish. I saw, you know, what might be a couple right on bottom, but you know, you could spend all day driving around here looking for big arcs that are suspended, and you're just not going to find them. So you need to find an area that, you know, it's a steady depth for maybe 100 yards, maybe 50 yards. And if you have that, what looks like big boulders on the bottom, you're going to be in a good area that's probably going to hold some fish. So just spot lock on it, fish it for 2 or 3, 4 or 5 minutes. If you don't get bit in 5 minutes, you're not going to get bit. So just move on. But chances are you will get bit, especially like the sides of this drop so fast. So if we're right up on top and there's about a 50 yard area here where it's a consistent, you know, 120 to 80 feet. It's kind of, I know it doesn't seem too consistent, but it is around here when this drops off to 600 on all sides. So that's kind of what we're doing here, and it's working for us. I'm just plucking off a few here and there, moving a lot, and trying to get these lake trout to go.
I'm a prisoner of this hill, searching for a way to get back up again. I'm killing for a thrill, I'm killing for a way back to Elysia. All the lights are dimming thin, the secret's almost out, the fires are fizzling, the jury's out and the fall is coming. And you should hear me now, that all familiar sound when your face is sitting ground, 'cause the only way is down. And I'm just high enough to see it from above, but it always comes back round when the only way is down. The only way is down. The only way is down. These leeches are a sin, sucking dry my heart to feed the lies I'm in. You're an addiction I can't kick, an affliction of a life that I once lived.
That is one of the cooler looking trout we've seen yet.
And I was reeling up to switch up my.
So he chased you off bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you asked me to grab a
like,
different lure. Yeah.
I was like 20 feet off bottom, I bet.
What a chunky fish. Look how dark it is. And look at that tail.
I love that orange.
How special is that?
Cool.
That's one of my favorite ones yet.
Yeah,
Big
dark.
belly, just dark and tiny little dots all down it.
Short nose.
Yeah.
Love it.
How am I gonna get back up? Stay low.
Woo!
Stay down. And there be bullets firing overhead, and they won't stop till we are dead. Give in, that's what you said. And 'cause you're stepping on my heart again, and one of these days I'ma let you in. You should hear me now.